Hello, my beautiful darlings, and welcome to the start of another reading blog. This reading blog, we're going to be reading 3 books, and they're actually 3 books that I have placed on my TBR for the Goodreads Choice Awards nominees. So I actually did not even know that the first round was ending so soon. Well, I did know that the opening round was going to end soon, but I didn't know that the final voting round was going to end by November 30th. So I have a little bit of a pressure at this moment to get through these books, and I had placed 6 books in the TBR, but honestly, I don't think I'm gonna get to them. So what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and read 3 of the 6 that I have on my TBR, because these are the ones that I actually got from the library, and then those 3 books are gonna be Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney, which I just got. Well, not just got, because you could tell that it's due in 8 days. But yeah, I did start with this one already. And then the other 2 books are Dissolution by Nicholas Binge, which is under the sci-fi category. This one didn't make it to the final round, so unfortunately, I won't really be able to vote in the sci-fi category this year if I do finish this before final voting ends. And then the last book of this reading blog is going to be Homeseeking by Karissa Chen. This one, I believe, is under the debut novel category, and I'm really looking forward to this one because it sounds really, really beautiful. It's a little bit of a chunky one, but I feel like it might be a pretty easy read from what I'm seeing here. This one's kind of broken. Oops. Well, it's not my copy, it's the library's, but yeah, I have started already with Beautiful Ugly. I am reading it on my Kindle currently. And honestly, so far it's been very intriguing and interesting in the front that we're basically following this couple, this married couple. But it's kind of setting up the scene that they're kind of having, issues in their marriage, that it's not really the same as it used to be. And then one day when he's on the phone with her, telling her like, hey, today's a very important day for me. Today's the day that I'm going to get the call from my literary agent to see if I actually got like the deal, and I actually made it to the New York Times bestseller, which is like his like #1 goal. And then his wife is like, yeah, I'm on the way, like super dismissive. And then when he calls her back afterwards, he kind of hears that something's going on. She's like, oh yeah, like there's some like random lady here in the middle of the road. And when he tells her like, oh, I want to stay on the phone with you and to make sure that you're okay while you go investigate the situation. And yeah, they stay on the phone. He stays on the phone for minutes, and he sees that she doesn't come back. He's just hearing a bunch of weird noises, and then he knew where she was on the road already. She was pretty close to their house, so he went ahead and he just ran to the scene, and he saw that his wife is missing. Then, the story jumps forward like a whole year later, and he's having a really hard time writing his next book, which was part of the contract that he wrote with his literary agent. And his literary agent is sending him off to this, like, kind of a remote island in a sense that was owned by another one of the authors that she had under her. And she's sending him out there to go ahead and have this book written out, so he could have complete solitude, be in his own space, and have some peace of mind with no distractions, etc., etc. And then, yeah, that's the far as I've gone. I'm not too far in the book. I want to say I'm like maybe at most 10%, but so far so good. I do have some theories that I feel like maybe the wife was having an affair and she got caught up in some bad business of a sorts, and she got like kidnapped, or she actually got, unfortunately killed. We don't really know just yet, just because apparently they don't deem someone dead unless it's been 7 years of that person being lost, and it's only been 1 year, so we're not saying that she's dead yet. But I have a theory that maybe she is dead. But we'll see. We're gonna see how this book rolls out. I did ask my sister-in-law about it because she did read it, and she gave the book a 2 star. So I'm a little nervous about that, guys. I really am. But I'm not gonna let that derail me. I'm still gonna go into it, hoping for the best, really expecting a really good book. And so far, it's been meeting the what's that called? Like the guidelines for me to like a thriller book. It's really meeting those criteria so far. So we're gonna see how it goes. But I'll definitely come back here with some more updates. Today is Tuesday, and I am off this week from work because I took some PTO because it's Thanksgiving week. Whoop whoop. So yeah, I just finished filming one video that you guys are definitely gonna have already seen by the time this one went up, which is like my entire physical TBR book. But now that I took all of the books out, as you can tell, from my bookcase, I want to go ahead and dust it off because it's like super dusty, and also see if I could transition some over to my other bookshelf, because my other bookshelf in our office has, I'm like trying to set it up to look like really nice and pretty, so it could be another background that I have for my YouTube videos. So yeah, just go ahead and enjoy all of this B-roll that I'm going to show you guys now, and I'll catch you in the flippity flip with another update of Beautiful Ugly. The prettiest girl in the world. And my other pretty girl taking a little nappy naps while daddy's recording. Let's get it. What's up, guys? I'm back with an update. But first, look at this cute little Kindle charm I recently got. It's so cute. But anyways, I'm here with updates with Beautiful Ugly. So I'm 25% of the way through currently, and the story's been developing really well. We started getting more background from the married couple, like their relationship and how they got to the point that they got to right before she went like disappeared. There was a lot of toxic patterns in a sense, honestly. And there's like really good commentary like on the addiction escapism factor that takes place in relationships sometimes that are going through some type of issues that are not being addressed. Then we started getting Abby, which is the girl that disappears POV, about a week before she disappeared. Like, she was going to therapy, and we started getting more background on like the type of person that she is, and starting to learn why there's a clear disconnect in the relationship because of the type of person that Abby is, that she's basically pretending to be. I'm really interested to see how that ends up going, to see specifically in terms of like who she really is. I feel like this is going down the cheating trope, which is not my favorite, but that's the idea that I'm getting. But I feel like it might not be that finally. She might be maybe like a murderer of some sorts. I don't know. I'm speculating. These are just my thoughts and theories. I have so many theories of like so many possible directions that this could go. I feel like it could be a little predictable just because I'm a little afraid of that happening, but you know, I'm staying hopeful. I think it's going to turn out to be really good. I also really like her prose, the way that she's writing this book, the way that she's describing the sceneries and really setting up the scene really well. And then there's a very creepy mystery aspect in the story that she's doing such a good job at making it feel like kind of unsettling in a sense. I like that a lot, honestly. But yeah, like I said, I'm 25% of the way through. I will definitely come back with more updates, probably at the 50% mark, because I like to give updates every quarter, but we'll see, because it really is so digestible. It's like so engaging. I kind of want to keep turning the pages. I want to keep reading to keep finding out what's going to happen next, and more background and things like that to start connecting the dots. It's really good so far. I'm enjoying it. So we're going to see how it goes, and I'll come back with another update after. What is up, you guys? I'm back with an update because I'm 50% of the way through Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney already, and I have some thoughts. So today's day 2 of reading Beautiful Ugly, and like I said yesterday, I've been really enjoying it so far. It's been a really good thriller. Like, it really has gripped me, and it's been keeping me engaged and like interested in what's going to happen next. But I fear that I've stumbled upon a little hiccup with the book, and I've noticed that it's a little repetitive. There's like we understand that Abby has disappeared and Grady is grieving over this. It's been a year later, he's still going through it, mainly because he doesn't understand what happened to her and like why she just disappeared. He doesn't know the why behind it, and that's what's hindering him from actually moving on from the situation and, accepting his loss, for lack of better words, and moving on. So I feel like this pattern of him saying like, "Oh, I don't know what happened to her. I really wish I could find out. I'm so sad without her. Life sucks without her. Can't write my next book without her." Like, it's getting very repetitive right now. So I'm like 56% of the way. And it really is like almost in every chapter or every other chapter that we keep getting kind of like that same little storyline, just reworded in different ways. And it's getting a little annoying because, like, I know, like, I get it. Like, let's move on to the topic of finding out what happened to her and why she disappeared. I feel like we are getting a lot from Abby's POV, but I feel like it's not enough still. And hopefully that does change for the better. Like, we do get more insight, just because every time that we're in her POV, we get a lot of info dump and a lot more information that is vital to the story. But I'm waiting to see how it's going to correlate and come together with the original plot line, honestly, like to the reason of why she disappeared, basically. So I'm trying to find that out. One thing that I have been noticing is that every resident within this island that Grady's staying at, where he's writing the book, the Isle of Amberley it's called, every resident is a woman. And there's only 25 residents in the whole isle. So I'm a little intrigued to see if that little feature that I've noticed that's only women in the island correlates in any way to the story. I have like some thoughts and theories, but they're too preliminary, and it was a very subtle way of finding out. Like, honestly, like I kind of put two and two together when we met like a fourth person in the island, and then I realized like, oh, this is another woman. How interesting. So I'm trying to see if this is maybe like a revenge story of a sorts, because to me, what I'm understanding is that Abby was not happy in her relationship, and Grady had a whole different idea in the relationship, thinking that she was happy and, that she didn't change or whatever the case is. But she feels like she has changed and she has lost herself, kind of being overshadowed by Grady, but kind of in a sense that it's her own fault. Like, she kind of lost sense of who she is just because she's always looked up to him and admired him and wanted to know everything about him and be a supportive wife and, X, Y, and Z, the whole shebang. And that way that Abby's feeling is definitely something that has caused a lot of damage within the relationship. And I want to see if that is also a correlation into the reason why she disappeared. I really have the notion that she kind of just, figured herself out while she's in the relationship and kind of just did fake her disappearance in order to get away. But that's how the story's leading me to believe. It's leading me up to believe that. So hopefully in the good nature of a thriller, that is not the actual way that it takes, just so it's not so predictable. Like I was saying earlier, it feels predictable, but I'm hoping that it's not in that way at all. But yeah, guys, I'm enjoying the book so far. Like I said, the repetition of the grieving and the, oh my god, I can't do anything without her, or figuring out what happened, like, I'm over it already at this point. Like, I totally get it in the beginning, but when I'm in the meaty part of the book where I'm starting to figure out clues and things as to what the resolution is going to be, or the plot twist, or whatever the case is going to be, I don't need that same build up repeated constantly in almost every single chapter. And these chapters are short. So yeah, that's my only critique. I'm still enjoying the book so far. In terms of the day, I've had a great day today. I woke up and I was intending to go to the beach, but I feel like it would have been too chaotic. So I just decided to stay home, and I've literally been doing nothing. Right now it is 3:38 in the afternoon. It looks pretty grayish outside. That's why I have like one of my lamps on for you, so you guys can see me, and also to give you guys like a different POV. But yeah, it's kind of gloomy outside. I think I'm gonna go out there, play with Seppi some more, try to get B-roll of that because we play very, very funnily. She's a very jumpy girl. She likes to throw herself in the air and catch her balls. I'm enjoying a nice little iced coffee at the moment. And yeah, I don't have. Oh, Duolingo's reminding me I gotta do my Duolingo. But yeah, I don't really have much else planned for the day. I definitely have to keep crocheting because I'm crocheting Christmas gifts, if you didn't know. And dinner should be nice and simple. Just gonna make a simple salad. So yeah, not much on the docket. Pretty slow, easygoing day. Trying to enjoy these days of my vacation to the max, but also try to do as least as possible to make the day flow smoothly and slowly so I don't feel like my vacation days are just flying by because tomorrow's already Thanksgiving. But yeah, I'll definitely come back with an update later, most likely, if not tomorrow. Um, I did have the plan to finish the book today. I feel like maybe I can, but I don't want to hold myself to it just for the time being. But if I do, you'll see in the next clip that I finished it, and I'll give you my thoughts. What is up, you guys? I'm back with an update because I finished Beautiful Ugly, and so much happened that I don't even know where to start. So many twists and turns happened in the book, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, there was a point where I was seriously confused with the amount of twists and turns that the story took. That like at the final end of it all, like it all came together, it all made sense. But still, like there was so many things that started becoming like come to light at the end. Literally like the last 20 pages, I want to say at most. Like so many different things were coming to light and everything was like figured out and like it came together really, really fast, like a really fast resolution, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna tell you that it's like happily ever after for sure. And the book makes it known for you, definitely, that it's not a happily ever after, but I appreciate that it wasn't just because, you kind of always expect for the story to end with a happily ever after, right? But sometimes it's good for it to just end on a bad note sometimes, and especially with the direction that the book took, I feel like it kind of made sense in the direction that it went at the end of the day. Like it was insinuating this basically the entire time, and that's what happened. It was strictly only Grady's POV most of the book, and then the times that we would get Abby's POV, they were so good that I kind of was left wanting more. But yeah, overall, like really, the book was good. It definitely had like it gave me whiplash from the amount of times I was like, wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? Like I definitely was like, holy shit. Like there was so much going on. But honestly, really good thriller. I'm very pleased with it. It's not like mind-bending, amazing thriller that like other thrillers I might have read before. I'm not like too big on the thriller genre. That's more of like a genre that I put to the side most of the time. I do read it, but it's not like my number one for sure, like to read on the daily. But yeah, overall, I gotta say I'll give the book a 4 star. Right now I'm feeling and I'm sitting with a 4 star. I feel like a 4 star sounds good just because of the premise and the way that it flowed. It was a little bit rushed at the end, but still overall the whole pacing of the book was really, really well done. The resolution and the turnaround and the lessons and the themes within the book, they were all really, really strong. And I really appreciate that in the book. So overall, 4 star, and I'm good with that for now. But if I change my mind, I'll go ahead and put it on screen for you guys. So now we are ready to go ahead and get into the second book. And the second book of this vlog is gonna be Homeseeking by Karissa Chen. I got it from the library, I still have some time. It's a little bit of a chunky one, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be less. But I just feel like the story is really gonna be like a high reward, high payoff type of situation. It's gonna be, I feel like it might be very, very beautiful and like very strong messages throughout the book. So I'm excited to get into her. So I totally haven't given you an update like in terms of like life. Today's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. It's nighttime. I'm ready to make dinner. We're not doing traditional Thanksgiving because we already did traditional Thanksgiving with David's family this past weekend. So today we're keeping it like a simple meal and we're doing some salmon and rice. No, not rice. Quinoa, because we're healthy girlies sometimes in this house. But we do like a sweet treat. Besides that, not much on the docket. Probably I'll keep crocheting the bag that I was showing you guys yesterday, and definitely find some time to start homeseeking because I'm excited for this one. I know it's gonna be good. What is up, you guys? I'm back with an update, but it's not really a rating update because it's been a couple days. I know that my last update was that I was gonna go ahead and start on Homeseeking, which I have. I've only read 2 chapters though. And the reason for that is because one of my book clubs has been reading the Book of Azrael for the month of November, and I was falling a little behind on it, so I decided to just lock in and focus on it. And also, I've been reading it on my new Kindle. I got the new Kindle. I love it. It's really fast. It's like great, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to give you guys an update because the best time of the month has arrived, and that time is Book of the Month. So obviously I'm not sponsored, guys. Like, I'm not sponsored. I only have a few subscribers, not that big on social media either, but I just wanted to show you guys the book that I chose and open it up with you guys. I almost doxed myself. All right, first look. Fiction forward. You guys can already see which one I chose. Good Spirits by B.K. Morrison. So there's this super cute bookmark. And then this is the back. I wanted to at least go and unbox with you guys my book of the month. I decided on this one just because I do have a plan of doing another 24-hour reading challenge now in the month of December. Whoa, October, no. If December. And I wanted to do it like holiday themed, like only reading holiday books. And when I saw this was one of the choices, I was like, yep, this is gonna be one of them. Literally 99.9% positive that all of you already know what this book is about. So I'm not gonna go ahead and bore you to death about what it is, but definitely I'm really excited about it. I know that's gonna be a cute one. But yeah, I don't have much of an update in terms of Homeseeking. I only have read 2 chapters, but definitely I am already getting very beautiful prose. Like, I love the writing style. It's very like lyrical, a little bit flowery, but not in a bad way. We're getting to meet both of the main characters. You know, they were best friends, basically, like childhood besties for a long time, and then the male main character had to go to war. They separated, and it's been 60 years since they had last seen each other, and they kind of just reunited all of a sudden one day, and then we're following their story now after they're reunited and kind of getting to know each other again and like finding out what they've been up to and things like that, you know, rekindling. So I'm really excited to see the direction the book takes for sure. I'm a little iffy on Dissolution. Hold on, let me get it. I'm a little iffy on this one. I don't know if I want to read it. At the end of the day, I am still interested in it, but I don't know. I also don't want to make this vlog like over 45 minutes at most. So I'm gonna see how I feel when I finish Homeseeking, and then we'll go ahead and decide at the end if we'll also read Dissolution. We're gonna see how it goes, but I will keep you guys updated, and I will come back when I have an update for Homeseeking. What is up, you guys? I'm back with an update on not only Homeseeking, but also like life in general, because it's been a couple days. So I'm pretty sure I put some B-roll. I went to the music festival in Miami called Art With Me this past weekend. I took my mom just because she loves going to raves also, and I obviously went with David, of course. So we all went to that festival. It was really, really fun. Today's Monday, the Monday after the festival, and I had to work, and I'm exhausted, if you can tell by these lovely designer bags that I got under my eyes. But first things first, the Goodreads Choice Awards winners were announced, and I want to go ahead and film my reactions as to who won officially on all the categories that I did vote in, and the ones I didn't vote in too, of course. So you guys are gonna see live reactions right now. So I'm really nervous. I really hope at least the ones that I voted for did win. Maybe some didn't. But nonetheless, let's take a look, see the winners. All right, so the winner for fiction ended up being My Friends by Frederick Bachman. That's a very, very obvious one. I kind of figured that was gonna happen. The winner for historical fiction was Atmosphere by TJR, and I'm so happy about that. I'm so glad that she won that category. She is so deserving of it. That is definitely one of my top books of 2025, so I'm super happy about that. The mystery thriller winner was Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. I, as you guys know, read Beautiful Ugly to see, and I did vote for it, and I ended up voting for Beautiful Ugly in that category. Interesting to see that Holly Jackson won. I did see a lot of hype around that book, so it makes sense to me. Now I feel a little intrigued to read it, but I'll circle back. The romance winner was Great BBL by Emily Henry. Yo. I will keep my comments and thoughts to myself. But if you could read a face, I hope you read it well. And the winner for Romantasy was Onyx Storm. The fantasy winner was Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, and I couldn't be happier. That is definitely the one that I voted for, and she is so deserving of that. The sci-fi winner being The Compound by Aisling Raleigh is interesting. I really thought that it was going to be... Who were the others? Let me take a look. Okay, honestly, makes total sense. I think that is one of the biggest books from all of the other books I'm seeing here, so makes sense. Dang, Dissolution by Nicholas Binge only got 2,179 votes. It was like the second to last. So honestly, that's even more confirmation for you guys that I'm not gonna read that one in this vlog, I'm sorry. Then the winner for horror was Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. I know that I haven't read that book, but I'm upset because I wanted The Possession of Albadias to win. The winner for debut novel was Alchemized. I kind of figured as much that was gonna happen. The audiobook winner being Onyx Storm is crazy. I cannot believe that Rebecca Yarros won in 2 categories. Moving right along to YA, fantasy, and sci-fi, the winner was Sunrise on the Reaping. As we all predicted it from the very jump, we knew that that was going to win. I said it actually in my Goodreads Choice Awards voting in first round plus reactions video that I'll go ahead and link up above and down below for you guys if you guys want to check it out. I literally predicted it. I was like, I know that that's going to be the winner. Like, no other book in that category had a fighting chance. I'm sorry. YA fiction, Fake Skating by Lynn Painter, cool, don't really care that much moving forward. Non-fiction, Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. I kind of figured that was the one that was going to win from the non-fiction category. The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie in memoir is the winner, and that makes a lot of sense because I've seen a lot of people talk about that one too. And then in the history and biography was How to Kill a Witch by, I'm trying to get you guys the name because I've never heard of this book actually. So it's How to Kill a Witch by Zoe Benditozzi. I might have said that super wrong, I'm so sorry. And Claire Witchwell. I love that one of the authors has witch in her name, like the name of the book, so that's cool. That is all the winners. I'm definitely happy about the fantasy category, the romantasy, and the historical fiction. Those 3 were the main ones that I did want to win, so I'm happy for those authors. Moving right along to what we're here for real, which is my thoughts and feelings on Homeseeking so far. And to put it quite plainly for you at first, I stopped it like almost at the 50% mark because the last chapter that I read was like heart-wrenching and I was crying in the club. We are following 2 characters, Haiwen, who is also known as Howard as his American name, and then Suchi or Sue, which is her American name. They have been childhood friends since they were super young, like I want to say 6 or 7. They were in school together, they became besties growing up, and they literally grew a relationship. And we got a lot of that insight throughout the book up to the 50% mark. And at that 50% mark that I stopped at is when we found out what exactly happened between them that kind of tore them apart. Because now the present timeline is actually 60 years later, and that's when they were able to rekindle and come back, and now we're following them again, but 60 years later. The book has a very nostalgic feeling throughout the whole time. I feel like the blend between past and present is so seamless. Karissa Chen is doing it so well so far. So we could we started in the past, and then we got into the present. We got more familiar with the present, and then when we get familiar with the present, there's something specific that's talked about, and then we refer back to it in the past, and we get that storyline of the past and how it went up to that situation. I feel like that Carissa Chen did that so well. Like I'm shocked at how seamless it feels and how everything is connecting so easily for me. Like I'm not wondering or guessing certain things. So yeah, one of the themes that I've been realizing while I'm reading is that you kind of have to, they're learning how to leave the past behind and to move on from it and accept that the past is in the past and we are now living in the present, and we can only change what's happening right now for the future. And then also another thing is that, remember, they rekindled 60 years from the last time that they saw each other, so they're obviously more elder at this point. I feel like on Suchi's part, she's still holding some resentment from what happened in the past between them, especially since they never really were able to hash it out, have a conversation about it, and move on from it. Where I've left off at, I feel like it was a good point to stop, especially because we were driving to Miami to get to the festival, and literally those last couple of pages of the chapter had me like really like teary-eyed, and I ended up finally crying because of like what exactly happened. I don't want to say anything because it is a spoiler. I feel like it might be in the synopsis. Okay, so yeah, it's actually in the synopsis, which is crazy to me. I can't believe that, but I'm glad that I forgot about it and didn't realize that. But basically what happened was that I had an older brother who I believe was already like married with children, but he was still an able-bodied person, and they were in the midst of a war at that time. And they were enlisting like able-bodied men from 18 to 34 in the war, basically. So went ahead and volunteered himself and enlisted himself to avoid his brother from going to war and potentially leaving his sister-in-law and his nephews and nieces alone without a father, which, that is amazing. Like, I can't even fathom something like that because it's so traumatizing and like something that you don't really expect. But already at this point in time, Suchi and Haiwen had a relationship, and they were kind of going through some issues, and then all of a sudden he goes ahead and enlists on this and leaves her a note that literally just says, "Forgive me." And when Suchi found that note, she was like, what is he talking about? So she ran to his house. She asked his mom, but when she opens the door, she sees that the mom is crying, and she asked her like, what happened to Haiwen? Where did he go? And mom told her the situation, that he kind of just enlisted, and told me the same thing, like just said, "Hey, I did this and I'm leaving. I can't reverse this anymore." But the way that Haiwen went about it was not the right way, in my opinion. I feel like he should have actually had a conversation he had the opportunity to have that conversation with her, but because she was upset about something else, he did not actually have the conversation with her, which is crazy. Like, I know that she's already upset, but if you know that you are about to leave the next day and you're gonna leave her upset also, like, there's just so many factors that go into it that I feel like are wrong, you know. But nonetheless, like I said, I'm 50% of the way. I really am enjoying it so far. I feel like it's only going to get better. I really am hoping that Suchi and Haiwen are able to have that tough conversation, kind of hash it out, and be able to turn the page so they could start a new relationship, I guess. Start from page one, And I know that maybe it's too late or whatever the case is, but they're elderly and they're both alone. Haiwen lost his wife a couple years ago, and Suchi got divorced from probably a very toxic relationship. I haven't really gotten the full scope on that just yet. So I just want them to end up together and to have a happily ever after. And I really hope that happens, but we shall see. I am getting 5-star feelings still, and I'm halfway. So I'll definitely come back with you guys once I have one last final update. What is up, you guys? I have finished Homeseeking, and wow, like, such a beautiful book from start to finish. I have so many thoughts. Like, I'm in awe that I cannot believe this book made me cry like 20 freaking times, I swear. The messages, the themes, the story, like, and then the multiple storylines that we follow. Like, yes, it's mainly Haiwen and Suchi's story for sure, but like we get so many other perspectives also. And that last chapter was being told from the perspective of Haiwen's mom. And oh my god, I was crying so hard in that last page, guys. Like, I wish I filmed myself like for B-roll or something. I was just so focused and locked in and trying to finish this because I'm trying to post this video for you guys tomorrow. Today's Thursday and tomorrow's my posting day, so hopefully I got it up. But if not, you're watching it just a day late. Sincerely, like, this was the most beautiful story about unrequited love. Like, it's insane. Like, it was kind of like right person, wrong time. So many themes, mainly pertaining to like finding where they truly belong, finding what their true home is because of being displaced multiple times due to war and other circumstances. I was right about Suchi being in a toxic relationship. We got all of Suchi's background and like who she married and like how that progressed, and it was a very unfortunate and very sad story for Suchi, honestly. But I'm really glad that she did get kind of a happily ever after at the end. Same with Haiwen, he did get a happily ever after too. Like they did end up in a sense with happily ever afters, just in a different way. I don't want to say too much just because I don't want to spoil the book for you guys, but definitely, I'm really happy with like the outcome of the book and how everything turned out. I think the most important thing in this book was honestly the true message of behind the title of Homeseeking. So there was one line that I want to just read to you guys. So it said, "Home isn't a place. It's a person or a person that you know that sees you and loves you. And when they are gone, home continues to just live inside of you." I cut the cameras because I'm about to start crying. I will say that there are slight trigger warnings. Like, it's nothing like too crazy that's like triggering or like it might kind of like set something off, but it's very mildly on paper, like you're reading about it, but it doesn't go too in depth. And it's first grape. Understand? I hope you understand what I mean by that. And then the other one's cheating. I'm not the biggest fan of the cheating trope, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I guess in regards to the story, I kind of just like looked the other way and I was like, okay, whatever. Like, it wasn't such a big deal. I always like to give my trigger warnings to my viewers and my followers just because, you know, those are sensitive topics sometimes for certain people. So I don't want you guys to go into it thinking like there's no warnings. It's so different compared to like American novels for sure. Like, it's written in such a different tone. Like, this story had so much nostalgia and so much longing and yearning and pining, and there were so many important messages, and the historical aspect of the book too was so interesting. I personally am not a person that likes to read about history, and back when I was in school I never really found interest in learning about history and things like that, but the history that was told about the Chinese Civil War in this book was told in a way that worked for me. Like, I actually learned something. I felt more interested in researching it more and finding out more about it. Like, honestly, I'm in awe. It was such a good book. Sorry if there's a change of angle or of like video quality. I have to record from my phone because my camera decided to die on me right when I was trying to finish my review. But the last thing I was trying to say was basically my only little critique with the book was that it's a little long-winded, with acknowledgments and notes and everything at the end. It turned out to be 500 pages, but like the book itself was 488. But there was like certain things here and there that I feel like maybe could have been cut off or could have been more like shortened in a sense, and maybe the author could have expanded more on other areas. Like there was one specific plot line that was not plot line, like one specific thing that was happening at the end that I really wanted to kind of get the actual like what happens when they get there type of deal. So I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get that, but at least the last chapter really like sealed the deal for me and was like, yeah, this was such a good book. Like when a book makes you cry to the way that I was crying with this book, you know it's a good book. So yeah, overall, I definitely have to say that I'll give the book a 4.5. It was so enjoyable. Like this was such a good book for a debut novel for an author. Like this year also for me has been the year of reading debut novels for new authors, and every single debut novel I've read this year has been so good. I really wish that this book would have been the one that won the debut novel category in the Goodreads Choice Awards, but I know why Alchemist won. It's a very big, popular book, so I get it. I honestly want to give Karissa Chen all of her flowers for writing such a beautiful, poignant story of two individuals going through such hard times and still finding their way back to each other at the end. Love it. 4.5 stars. Will highly recommend this for the rest of my days, and I definitely recommend for you to read this. But yeah, you guys, that is it for this reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed and got some good recs on, enjoyed my thoughts and my reviews on these books and like my little side life stories that I included on here. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed these types of videos. I love doing vlogs, I really do. I just feel like I gotta get a little better at them. I feel like I always forget to like film like b-roll, or I forget to like film at certain parts, and sometimes I feel like I should like cut down certain things or add other things. So let me know, sound off in the comments if you do like this type of video and how I can improve or what works. I definitely love to know the good things too, but I do like critiques because that's the only way that I get better. And I only want to get better for you guys, for my viewers, because you guys are the most important ones to me. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure to go ahead and give me a like and subscribe to my channel, and make sure to hit the notification bell so you're notified each time that I post a new video. My scheduled posting is usually Fridays at 8 a.m. I hope that this one made it, but if not, just know that my usual posting times are Fridays at 8 a.m. Eastern time. I, of course, have social media. I have Instagram, TikTok. They're all linked in the description box below, as well as my Goodreads Storygraph and Fable. You guys can go ahead and follow me on there so you guys could see what I'm reading currently or what I have read, my other reviews and things like that. And with that, my beautiful darlings, let's get hooked.